Well, hello there everyone, my name is Amy, this is The Opinionated Woman, and welcome to a crochet video. I'm so excited to do another crochet video. I've been wanting to finish off one of my projects so that I could film this, and I finally, over the weekend, I sat down, I watched football, I finished the project. So we're here with my scrap yarn project ideas, because I've been going crazy doing scrap yarn projects, and I'm like a little bit obsessed. So I wanted to come in and show you what I've done, and then maybe you can get some inspiration for your projects that you can do to like do it like a stash busting kind of vibe, you know? So the first thing I made were these little pouches. I don't have them because I gave them away as Christmas presents at the end of last year. If you watched what I made in 2022, they're in that video. These are just like I know my brother's girlfriend uses it for her vape and things like that. It's just like little pouch to store stuff away, and that was obviously just like, I just needed 2 granny squares and a flap, so like it takes barely any yarn, and they're really cute. So I managed to do like a bunch of different colors, which came out really cute. And then my mom commissioned me, I decided that I was going to make my mom a tote bag, a blue swirly whirly granny square tote bag, and I had leftover yarn from that, and she wanted a matching case to go with her camera, so I made her this. She lives in England, so I can't show you the real thing. I made her this. I think it came out super cute. I love the design that I managed to do on the front. I still had loads of yarn left over, and I managed to make it fit like I just did it made to measure. I did it freehand, and it came out so good. I'm like so freaking chuffed with how that came out. Then I was working on like my rainbow cardigan and stuff like that for a while. So I wasn't working I wasn't working on any scrap yarn projects, and I keep thinking about this vest, and every time I looked at my stash, I just see tons of purple, and I was like, I need to do something with this purple. So that is how this guy came about. If you've watched, I have a full video showing me making this. Pop it on. I have a whole video showing how I made this. It's really comfy, it's really warm. Have I messed up my hair? Oh no! And you can plan out your stitches, like which ones you've got more of, so you can plan it out so that you can manage to get like a good pattern out of the yarn and use up as much yarn as possible, and then you just use a yarn that you know you have quite a bit of to do this. And so I was so happy with how this one came out and how easy it was to make. It's freehand. It's just a big granny square to as big as you want it on your chest, and it's granny stitch up here, granny stitch, and granny stitch on the sides for as big as you want it. It's literally made to measure. So that was that one. Then I was absolutely obsessed. I was like, no, I have to make another one. Because of my mom's handbag that I made her, or not handbag, but tote bag, I made this one. So this is the blue version of the purple one. It's the same fit. It's slightly different on the front and back. And this is like a little more like beachy vibe, or that's more of like a fally 70s kind of vibe. And I still had tons of blue left over, but yeah, this was a great stash buster, and now I have 2 cute little vests to layer with and make my wardrobe more interesting. And one of the first things that I actually started working on was some swirly granny squares using some scrap yarn. And I just started doing that because I wanted to learn how to do the swirly granny squares. So I started making them last year, and then I stopped for a long time, and then I started up again, and I was like, you know what, I want to make a throw cushion to go on this couch, because I always bring a cushion from my bedroom when I'm reading or crocheting, because I need something to prop my back up. So I was like, okay, let me make these squares into a cushion. So by this point I'd made so many different projects that I had a big stash of different colors. So I made a billion different combinations, and I came up with this. Isn't this beautiful? Thumbnail. Maybe this side. So yeah, I just put together a bunch of different colors and I made a bunch of squares because I don't like the classic granny squares that lets the pillow show through. So this was all yarn that I already had, and this was a 35 Rand pillow insert from Pep Home. And then I got an 8 Rand zip from the haberdashery in Woodstock. I don't know what it's called. It's next to Deckle Edge, you know? I really badly sewed it in there. I crocheted it in there. So it looks quite neat. But the problem is that it's a bit small, so I had to really shove this pillow in there very carefully. So yeah, I love this and it looks so cute right here on my couch. I'm so happy with it. It's like, oh, it's so fun. But that's not the end, because those are just the completed projects. I need to now show you the whips. So I have been working on this blanket ever since I started crocheting. I was like, okay, I'm going to make 3 squares out of every skein of yarn that I buy, and I'm going to make a scrap yarn blanket with it. So if you've watched my videos before, I've talked about this before. So I have this basket, which I obviously crocheted, and it's full of squares. There's so many squares. Holy shit. Holy shit, there's so many. So I've been making these and trying to get the blanket to the right size. So what I'm gonna do now is, my plan is to do a single crochet in black around every square and then join them in black and then do a black scallop around the edges. I thought that would look kind of cool, and I do have a lot of black, so I think that would look sick. So that's what I'm going to work on, but I first have to see, because I have another whip that's in progress. I want to see some yarn that's left over from that, see if I'm going to make those into squares that are going to contribute to this, if there's some balls of yarn that I can use up really easily. Because I watched a TikTok from Emma by Made in the Moment, and like, check out their TikTok and everything. I will link all of the patterns, if there's any patterns that I've followed, like the swirlies, granny squares. I think that's the only pattern. I will link it down below. But yes, they were talking about, I don't know if they were talking about stash busting projects. They were just basically talking about some of their old patterns that they had on the YouTube channel. And I've only just started following them, like in the last 6 months or so. So they mentioned this top-down raglan. Are all raglans top-down? Yes. Sweater. So I started to make that. I based the colors off some of the squares that I made, some of the swirly whirlies. So like, I really like this. So that's here. And what was the other one? These two. See. So yeah, I got to here and I was like, why aren't the sleeves connecting? Like, why isn't it at that point? And then I realized that I'd made a mistake. So I frogged it, and luckily I did frog it, because actually, I didn't do the neckline properly. So I realized my mistake and I fixed it. So the neckline is a lot more, it's a front post, back post ribbing. So yeah, this is my color combo. Because I frogged it, this is my Franken yarn. So we're just gonna go, I'm gonna use as many scraps as I can, and we're gonna see. So that's how it's looking so far, and I think it's fitting nicely and it's looking cute. And also, obviously, because it doesn't have a front or back, I can just twisty wisty it, floop, and then it's a slightly different pattern. Like that green is doing something weird there. See, I like it. So yeah, that is my scrap yarn ongoing project while I make another sweater that I'm also making a video on, but that you will find out about at a later stage, you nosy bitch. There's all my scrap yarn projects. My stash is looking so like frugal right now because like I really don't have a lot of space for like a big stash. So especially when I need to like buy new yarn for a specific project, I just don't have the space for this kind of stuff. So like if I can make cool things that I'm going to get use out of and that I'm going to wear, and not have to spend any more money on yarn, like that's the dream. Hello. So yes, I will keep an eye on my Instagram, on my TikTok. I'm going to be making a video about this as well, and that is where I will update when I'm finished my scrap yarn sweater. I will definitely be showing it off on Instagram and TikTok. So you can check out all of those links down below, along with my Kofi link, which is like a little one-time tip jar if you ever feel like you want to support my channel. But other than that, like, comment, subscribe, all of that fun stuff, and I'll check you next time.